as indicated by the most recent long-haul gauge. AMP cost will hit $0.01 toward the finish of 2024 and afterward $0.03 toward the finish of 2025. AMP will ascend to $0.05 inside the time of 2030 and $0.07 in 2032. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.07, so the cost expanded by 92% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $194 and the year-to-year change plus 433%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 177%. In 2024, we hope to see $142 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0313. In the final part, the cost would add $114 and close the year at $0.0327, which is plus 367% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.0327 to $0.0330, which is up 123%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.0327, then dip to $0.0319 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.0352. That implies plus 403% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.03 to $1,390, which is plus 90%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.07, then take off to $0.00 inside the principal half of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.0915. It is about plus 207% from today. 0.12 AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.13, so the cost expanded by 184% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.41 and the year-to-year change plus 102%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 288%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.94 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.648. In the last part, the cost would add $0 and close the year at $0.678, which is plus 556% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a huge increment. AMP cost would move from $0.678 to $1.515, which is up 123%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.678, then dip to $0.661 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.00. That implies plus 607% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.18515 to $0.1885, which is plus 90%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.18515, then take off to $0.11701 inside the principal half of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.2897. It is about plus 736% from today. 3152 AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.107, so the cost expanded by 193% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.05 and the year-to-year change plus 738%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 186%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.16 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.04. In the final part, the cost would add $0.07 and close the year at $0.437, which is plus 310% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $0.437 to $0.778, which is up 78%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.437, then, at that point, dip to $0.0376 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.445. That implies plus 280% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.0778 to $0.098, which is plus 30%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0778. Then, at that point, take off to $0.0828 inside the primary portion of the year and finish 2031 at $0.837. It is about plus 685% from today. 3s are 1, 2s to 4. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.5, so the cost expanded by 36% from the start of the year. The Guaja AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.8143, and the year-to-year change plus 293%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 188%. In 2024, we hope to see $1 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0192. In the final part, the cost would add $0.13 and close the year at $2.05, which is plus 313% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $2.25 to $0.366, which is up 79%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.05, then dip to $0.177 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.9. That implies plus 283% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.366 to $0.2473, which is plus 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.366, then, at that point, take off to $0.389 inside the main portion of the year and finish 2031 at $0.393. It is about plus 692% from today. 02152 AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.038, so the cost expanded by 4% from the very start of the year. The estimated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.0128 and the year-to-year change plus 252%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 240%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.081 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0134. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.93 and close the year at $0.0131, which is plus 248% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.1131 to $0.229, which is up 121%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.131. Then, at that point, take off to $0.145 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.15.